Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe and comments. I like your comments. And notice, I always try and answer the comments, even the insults. Yes, I know somebody wanted me to sing Under the Boardwalk. Yeah, literally, under the boardwalk. Yeah, well, thank you, Larry. I laughed all the way to the gun cupboard. Here we go. I'm now going to talk today about corruption in the prison service again. It's rife every time you open the bloody newspapers. The hostess brigade have been at it. And another one. HMP 5 Wells this time, which is located in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire. 2 prison officers there working for G4S have been charged with 6 counts between them of misconduct in a public office, which is basically smuggling items in to HMP 5 Wells and also to HMP Peterborough. So how they did that, who knows? But the name's Alicia Novas, age 19. Nice young lady. Going to court though on Monday the 27th. At Northampton Magistrates Court. Yeah. And a guy called Declan Vinkles, age 30. Old enough to know better. I mean, perhaps Alicia was just overcome by the situation being somewhat vulnerable. I mean, who's going to stick a 19-year-old girl on the landings of one of Britain's biggest prisons? And it really is, you know. HMP 5 Wells, which was opened in 2022, has got a capacity of 1,687, currently holding 1,650, so it's a big prison. Category C prison. Let me tell you something about HMP 5 Wells. In the year 2024, the 12 months of 2024, recorded at HMP 5 Wells 1,256 counts of inmates harming themselves. Self-harming incidents. When we're talking about self-harm, we're talking about people slashing their arms and slashing their legs, cutting their faces, getting sharp instruments and inserting them into the bodies, swallowing. Have you ever seen a swallower? There's a guy, this is God's honest truth, this. I was on the hospital wing before I became an hospital officer, and it was the nights, I was doing nights on the hospital wing. And this guy, his bed collapsed, fell on the floor. Anyway, we got him up, got the duty hospital officer out and took him down to a more secure unit. What he'd been doing was, he'd been unhooking the springs on his bed and swallowing them. I mean, come on. I think they found about half a dozen or so stuck inside his stomach. They had to operate to get him out. What a world, eh? But that's part of self-harming. The worst part of self-harming, of course, is when they start to dangle themselves from the iron bars by a rope or whatever else. Usually a bed sheet, you know, they rip it up and make a noose for the neck and hang themselves. That's really going a bit far, though, I think, because you tend not to recover from that. So, HMP 5 Wells, and the first report into HMP 5 Wells by the inspectors found that it was rife with drugs. Over 50% of the inmates of HMP 5 Wells stated that it was perfectly easy for them to obtain all manner of illicit drugs. They were actually able to get in alcohol and whatever else they wanted. Well, folks, they've got a rough idea how they're doing it now, because the prison staff were smuggling it in. See, G4S is not run by HM Prison Service. No, it's run by a private company, G4S. And what kind of checks are they doing? I mean, how are they going to get people to work in there? dangerous places, prisons. So what they're doing? 19-year-old girls sticking them on the landings. It don't work. They've got to get a grip. They're not getting a grip, are they? They're just doing it on the damn cheap. So 6 counts of misconduct in public office. They're going up on Northampton Magistrates Court next Monday the 27th. Elysian Novas and Declan Vinklas. We'll see what happens there. I'll keep you posted on that. But it's rife throughout the system. Absolutely rife throughout the system. It didn't used to be. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was very rare to find that prison staff were smuggling stuff in. But then, back 40 years ago, it was considered to be a career. You know, you thought you were actually working in a career. I quite quickly picked up that this was deteriorating to the point where staff were going to be little more than turnkeys, and tried to do something about it by forming a union to prevent this, because the Prison Officers Association was selling it right down the river. And that's where it ended up. And here we are today, 2025. We've got the Hostess Brigade, and we've got staff. Every week you open the paper, some bully prison officer, so-called prison officer, have been smuggling stuff into the prisons. It beggars belief. It's that time of day. I'm going to read you a poem now. And thanks to all who made the comments on the last few days. Been appreciating them. Bob the Bob and Hazel. This is for you, Hazel. Yeah, because I know things have been a bit tough, eh? So this is for Hazel, who lives in Shropshire. Probably one of my favourite counties, apart from Lancashire, where I live. But Shropshire is a beautiful place, especially around the area known as Clun. I really like Clun. And Ludlow, of course. So this is for Hazel. It's the rainy day. We all get rainy days, don't we? By Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The day is cold and dark and dreary. It rains and the wind is never weary. The vine still clings to the mouldering wall, but at every gust the dead leaves fall, and the day is dark and dreary. My life is cold and dark and dreary. It rains and the wind is never weary. My thoughts still cling to the mouldering past, but the hopes of youth fall thick in the blast, and the days are dark and dreary. Be still, sad heart, and cease repining. Behind the clouds is the sun still shining. Thy fate is the common fate of all. Into each life some rain must fall. Some days must be dark and dreary. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, The Rainy Day. And now I'm going to warn you all, that's a song dinger. So if you're hanging around after this, you're in for a real treat. This is me attempting to do a song made famous by the Platters. Only You. So, are you ready? I've warned you, I've rung the song dinger, so it's not my fault. Only you can make this world seem bright. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. Oh, only you can make this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make all this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. There you are. Obviously I didn't hit the high notes there, but I gave it a shot. Tales from the Jails, John G. Sutton. Do please like, subscribe, comments down below.